Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of what I hope will be a long running series. My name is Devlin Clark, and I am going to be talking about the Twins versus the White Sox, the opening day series recap. The Twins take 2 out of 3 from the Chicago White Sox in Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field. Twins scored 27 runs over 3 games, much of those by the long ball, but not all of them, and we'll deep dive into that. Plus, we'll have a thumbs up, thumbs down for different players and different positions. We're going to talk batting, pitching, and fielding. We're going to integrate some baseball cards in here, so should be fun. So, without any further ado, let's take a drink and get started. All right, thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you enjoy this. If you like this, please like, share, comment, retweet, fave. Let me know what you think. Gonna see how long this one goes and make any necessary changes in the future. I'm trying to make more live content for you guys, or more video content for you guys, rather than just doing occasional videos of selling stuff or whatever the case may be. So I'm trying to be more interactive with everybody. So let's get right into it. 2 thumbs up for the Twins this weekend and Nelson Boomstick Cruz, the father of the Bomba Squad. I guess you could say probably the grandfather of the Bomba Squad, the way things are going. Nelson Cruz was 4 for 4 today, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs. He's batting .538 on the season, slugging .1385. He has a OPS of 1956, which is unbelievable, especially after 3 games. The guy turned 40 this offseason, so that's really remarkable. Has an on-base of .571, so his on-base is nearly as high as his average, which is just phenomenal. .538 average, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Big thing for Nelson Cruz today was hit a 3-run homer to right field, but before that, he really Twins got a grand slam in the first inning. We'll get to that later. The big hit was Cruz had an opposite field bases clearing double into the right field corner in Chicago. It was big because not only did it break the game open, but it's also good to it's also good to see the Twins and Nelson Cruz going opposite field, especially at 40 years old when he's a DH. Being able to go opposite field, it wasn't a great pitch. It was probably just slightly out of the strike zone, high enough where Cruz was able to kind of pound it in the right field corner. 3 runs scored. It cleared the bases. It really put the game out of reach for the Twins, or for the White Sox. So that was 2 thumbs up for Boomstick. He's picking up right where he left off last year. On the flip side, thumbs down, Max Kepler. After his great start to the season in the first 2 at-bats of the year, he was 2 for 2 with 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. Hit the first pitch of the season out of the ballpark hit a home run. Second at bat, also hit a home run Friday night. His next 12 at bats, he was 0 for 12. So he's hitting .143 with 3 strikeouts. He's playing solid defense. I'm not worried about Max Kepler. People know he's a streaky hitter. When he's on, he's on. Giolito, he got the better of him in the first 2 at-bats. Keuchel's a really, really, really tough lefty. Kepler maybe should have sat yesterday, but that's up for debate. You obviously don't want to sit him too early in the season, but, Keuchel's a former AL Cy Young Award winner. He shut the Twins down for the most part yesterday. They did get the 3-run homer from Cruz, but for the most part, he shut them down. He was just striking people out and getting ground balls and whatever else he needed to do to get the Twins off the field and minimizing the damage and having the White Sox score. So Kepler 0 for 12 in the last two games, after his first two at-bats of the series, he was 0 for 12 with 3 strikeouts, batting 143. He'll turn it around. Like I said, Keuchel's a tough lefty, and Lopez today, he was 0 for 5 today, didn't get any hits, which kind of surprised me because you could tell Lopez was struggling right out of the gate. The Twins took advantage of him right away in the first inning. We'll get to that after a while. But Kepler, 2 for 14, so thumbs down to start the season, but he'll turn it around. He will absolutely turn it around. Next up is going to be Jorge Polanco. And Jorge Polanco had an RBI base hit Friday night. He's 4 for 13 in the series, two RBIs, no walks, no strikeouts. That's really important. He ended up being the all-star starting shortstop last year. He hit 295 for the year. Switch hitter. I think Rocco likes that flexibility, against a guy like Giolito. He can bat left-handed, which is his preferred side of the plate, but then against a tough lefty like Keuchel, he can turn him over and bat him right-handed, which is also very important. So 4 for 13 in the series. All the hits were singles, couple RBIs. 308 to start the season, so just about 10 to 15 points above where he finished last season. So Polanco doing Polanco things. Biggest thing for Jorge Polanco is that he's playing solid defense. He didn't make any errors in the 3-game series. He made a lot of errors last year. He's kind of always been known for his offense and not his defense. The defense has always kind of been kind of the weak spot for Jorge Polanco, but he's so far through 3 games he's been flawless. He did have a funny moment the other night. He was charging a ball hit by Edwin Encarnacion. Polanco made the play and ended up throwing and hitting Encarnacion in the back of the kneecap. It looked like the back of the kneecap, or back of the knee rather, maybe the upper calf. And he ended up going down. He didn't even touch the base. He was out. He left the game. But so Polanco playing good defense. It was not part of the double play today, but the Twins did turn one. As long as him and Arias can stay healthy, they can hit really well and play, league average to slightly above defense. I think the Twins will take that. Next guy we are going. Thumbs up for Jorge Polanco. Thumbs also up for Eddie Rosario, who is our next man up, and we're gonna deep dive into Rosario here a little bit. So we'll get into the stats first. He's 3 for 12 with a double and an RBI. That RBI was on Friday night. Biggest thing for Eddie Rosario is the better plate discipline. He talked in the offseason about how he wanted to cut down his strikeouts and expand his walks, making sure that he was getting on base more and not striking out as much and being, kind of maturing as a hitter, becoming a more complete player. 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Not great numbers, but 2 walks. He only had 2 or 3 series where he had 2 walks last year, so that's a very encouraging number. He is in a contract year, so look for Eddie Rosario to put up big numbers again. He had I think he had 31 home runs last year, so he hit the ball. He hit the ball really far and really hard last year. He's a fan favorite. A lot of fans, including myself, really like Rosario. The biggest thing for him, like I mentioned, is better plate discipline. The 2 walks and 1 strikeout don't really kind of reflect accurately the series that Rosario had. I thought he had a fantastic series. He swung at 1 bad pitch, and that was here today, and I think he ended up grounding out to second on it. But the biggest thing was the pitches he didn't swing at. Rosario likes to swing at pitches a lot of times that are either down and out of the strike zone or up and away or just way too high. And you could see today and in this series, he was really, really trying hard to expand his strike zone, to make the pitcher throw more pitches, to get that count deeper. and as a result, 2 walks, one strikeout. So very nice job for Eddie Rosario. Better plate discipline. He's in a contract year, like I mentioned, so look for him to have a big year. But if he can cut down his strikeouts in half, if he can end with, if he does 1 strikeout a game instead of 2 or 3 and gets, 1 walk a game instead of 0, or even has games where he gets 2 walks a game like he did today, if he can end with 35, 40 walks and, 55, 60 strikeouts. Those aren't great numbers on the surface, but peripherally they're a lot better than what they do normally get out of Rosario, and I think the Twins would take that. There's obviously still work to be done there on the plate discipline end, but Eddie Rosario is who he is. Kudos to him for wanting to work hard to get better as a player at this point in his career. I think he's 27 or 28 years old, so he knows what's in front of him. Like I said, not just a career year, a contract year, but the Twins also have outfielders that are breathing down his neck. Trevor Larnach, Alex Kirilloff, guys like that who, and even Jake Cave can play left field in a pinch if needed. Marwin Gonzalez is a utility guy who can do that. So, he knows that there's players who can take him, who can overtake him, and if he leaves and goes somewhere else, the Twins should be fine. One thing I do want to mention, so offensively for Rosario, thumbs up. Defensively, did have one mental error. He did miss a cutoff man. It was either today or I think it was yesterday, and it allowed Tim Anderson to score on a bases loaded situation or a 2-run situation. So that's one of those things. He was playing a ball off the left center field wall, and he missed the cutoff man, and he knows better. He knows that he needs to hit the cutoff man in that situation. Not saying that the Twins would have gotten Anderson at the plate. Anderson's a fast runner, but could have at least been a close play instead of not making a throw at all. So Rosario, good day, good series to start with. Very encouraging signs, especially on the plate discipline end. Again, had the overthrow, missed the cutoff man, needs to clear that up, but confident he'll do that. So thumbs up for Rosario. We're going to do kind of a push for the next guy, and that is the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson. He gets a push. Thumbs up for his on-base percentage. Thumbs down for average. So Donaldson in the series was 1 for 10, 2 runs, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. You'd like to see your top free agent, your prize free agent, produce a little bit more. It looked at times to me like he might have been pressing a little bit. I think Justin Morneau kind of mentioned that on the FSN broadcast, that, when you see your team scoring a bunch of runs, you maybe start pressing a little bit to try and, turn a single into a double or try to turn a double into a home run. You try a little bit harder than you would, and sometimes you end up getting yourself out. And I don't know if that's the case with Donaldson, but 1 for 10, 2 runs scored, 4 walks. 4 walks is really good. Everybody knows Donaldson's got power, hit 37 home runs last year for Atlanta. The 1 strikeout is really a positive sign. You have a 4-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio, which is also why his OBP is 357. So his average pluses on base is 457. So that 1 hit was a single as well. He did score on one of the Cruz home runs today. So Donaldson off to a slow start in terms of hitting, but in terms of getting on base, walks, that kind of thing, right where we always expected him to be. Also playing very solid defense. Made a few really nice plays in front of him and to his left this weekend. Really, really strong arm. You can tell. He made a play. I think it was going back to his left. Yeah, back to his left on a ball, and just really, really deep in the hole. Just threw to Sano and made a perfect throw and got the guy out. So solid defense. 1 for 10 is not great, but again, the White Sox and guys on a new team, and it takes some time. So 4 walks is always an encouraging sign. he'll probably, in 60 games, he might walk 100 times this year. So Josh Donaldson gets a push. He'll turn things around once he starts going and starts getting on fire and starts getting hits. All it takes is one. He just needs one to drop in for him to get him going, and it'll be raining at Target Field. The bringer of rain will be there. Moving on, Jake Cave. I'm going to give him a thumbs up for this weekend's performance. Jake Cave, this series, 3 for 9, a grand slam, 6 RBIs, 1 run scored. He also had a 2-run single on Friday night, which for all intents and purposes put the game away for the Twins. No walks, but he did have 4 strikeouts. So in the at-bats where he put the ball on the bat, he was 3 for 5. In the at-bats where he didn't, he was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. And I should know, too, those 4 strikeouts were, I believe 3 of the 4 of them were on off-speed pitches. I think it was 2 sliders and 2 changeups, or 2 sliders, a curveball, and a changeup, something like that. But he had a big grand slam today to really kind of get the Twins on the board, get that momentum going. Keuchel shut him down yesterday. The White Sox offense kind of pounded the Twins yesterday. They hit 5 home runs, and the Twins hit 1. So the Twins needed to really kind of set that momentum and get that tempo going early. Twins loaded the bases in the first inning. Jake Cave came up, hit a grand slam. And Brandon Warren, a friend of mine on Twitter, tweeted that Jake Cave might be the best 4th outfielder in baseball. I agree. He and I have been saying that for 2.5 or 3 years. Jake Cave is probably the best 4th hitter in baseball. He played really well last year in limited duty. The biggest thing for Cave that's been tough is, whether Buxton's been healthy or not, it's one of those things where he doesn't know if he's going to play every day coming to the ballpark, and that's a really, really tough thing to be able to do mentally. Justin Morneau kind of mentioned it on the FSN broadcast. He said, when you're an everyday player, a Mauer, a Morneau, a Torrey Hunter, a Michael Kadire, your name's going to be penciled in on the lineup. You don't even have to check the lineup card. He said it's such a relief mentally. For a guy like Jake Cave, came over from the Yankees in a trade and played really, really well last year, provides power, plays great defense. He's an invaluable guy. He's a guy who doesn't get a lot of kudos on this team, but he should. He absolutely should, because as Brandon correctly tweeted, and I've been saying for a while too, he probably is the best 4th outfielder in all of baseball. He can hit, he can run, he can throw. He plays great defense. When Buxton's out there, the question Twins fans need to ask themselves is, if Cave wasn't around, would you completely trust Lamont Wade Jr. or Marwin Gonzalez in the outfield? Would you feel totally comfortable with that? So that's kind of the situation that the Twins are in. Hopefully Buxton comes back. We'll touch on him here shortly. But Jake Cave off to a really solid start this year with a grand slam today, and it was nice too that it was to the opposite field. That's always good. I'm a big fan of opposite field hitting. I think if you can hit consistently to the opposite field, it means that you're dialed in, you're seeing the ball really well, your timing is good. So Jake Cave, 3 for 9, grand slam, 6 RBIs. He had that grand slam was today off of Ronaldo Lopez. It, for all intents and purposes, ended Lopez's day. Cave did have a 2-run single on Friday night as well. It was a big 2-run single, and for all intents and purposes put the game away for the Twins and secured their win on Friday night. So thumbs up for Jake Cave. I'd like to see him take a few walks, cut the strikeouts down, but you take what you can get from a 4th outfielder. The guy's got power, and he plays good defense, and so take what you can get. Great job, Jake Cave, one of my favorite players. Next guy up, future star, Luis Arias. And I guess I probably shouldn't say future star. I should maybe say current star, current underrated star, maybe the best underrated player in baseball that nobody outside of the Twins knows about. The guy is probably going to be in the race for the batting title and might even win it. I think he's the odds-on favorite. Luis Arraez in the series, 4 for 9, 3 RBIs, 444 on base, and 444 slugging, 888 on base plus slugging. Did have an RBI single Friday night as well. And again, like I mentioned with Jake Cave, most of his hits were to the opposite field. He loves to hit the ball to left field. I love seeing that out of the guy. He reminds me so much, not just his approach, but also his swing of Tony Gwynn and Rod Carew kind of combined. I'm not saying that he's going to have that level of a career that those guys are going to have. The biggest thing is, obviously he got hurt in the playoffs last year. He got hurt last year, wasn't himself in the playoffs. So as long as he's healthy, that ankle's not bothering him, I think he's gonna win the batting title. So 4 for 9, 3 RBIs. I love